Tap that subscribe button and keep it locked here to Secrets to a Free Mind show with your host, Melanie Parker, powered by Quality Girl.
In this episode, we'll hear from a friend on Iron Sharpens Iron, healthy friendships. Keep it locked. Welcome back. I'm Melanie Parker, founder of Quality Girl and your host of Secrets to a Free Mind show, where we help you free your mind, move forward in life. Shout out to Mike Horn at Mike Life Poetry on Twitter for co-designing the cover art and composing the beats. In addition to listening to this podcast, be sure to tap the thumbs up icon, subscribe button, and bell icon to love us, follow us, and receive clips via Twitter on episodes. Let's welcome Angela Griffith. Hi, Angela.
Hello, Melanie. How are you?
I'm doing well. What's good?
Oh, everything. Life is good. Even though we got this thing going on with this virus, but life is good. We're all healthy here in Florida, so we're doing great.
That's wonderful. That's what we want to hear. We're winning.
Yes, we are.
So we want to get to know you. Who is Angela Griffith?
Good question. Who is Angela Griffith? Well, first of all, Angela Griffith, I'm a native of Elizabethtown, North Carolina, and currently my family and I, we live here in Valrico, Florida. I've been married to my wonderful husband, Gregory Griffith, for 24 years.
Wow.
We have a beautiful daughter who's 11 years old, first year of middle school. Her name is Alyssa, and we have our addition to the family, Mr. Snoopy, who is our family dog that we love so much. And also, I am a graduate of Fayetteville State University. I received a BS in computer science. And I'm also a Mary Kay beauty consultant and a contracts manager for Quality One Communications Consulting. So that's a little bit about me.
All right. Welcome. So glad to have you on the podcast today.
Thank you.
Let's preface this show by acknowledging the scripture, which stands out in the title of the show and as the amplified version of the Bible reads, "As iron sharpens iron, so one man sharpens and influences another through discussion." So let's discuss that scripture. Express by connecting to that scripture, what are characteristics of a genuine friend?
Well, Melanie, I think the top 5 that stand out for me is that a true friend or a genuine friend listens. They really listen to me as their friend. Also, they want to make me better. And then another thing that I find is a good sign of a genuine friend is that they're present. The phone is off. There's no other distractions. It's just all about me and my friend. And they call us out when we're wrong. And also that they support us through adversity. Those are the top 5 things that I think are characteristics of a genuine friend.
That is so true, Angela. That's a lasting friendship.
It is.
I know around the time I prayed for healthy friendships was prior to my matriculating into undergrad. From then on, it was a wrap. My squad was anointed.
Yes.
I remember soon after that time, I watched an episode of T.D. Jakes who talked about setting up friendships. He stated that Jesus is the best role model for setting up friendships. Yes. And that was so true. That really resonated with me. He said that Jesus had the multitude, the 70, the 12, and the 2. And everyone doesn't get everything. When he said that, I was super excited because my spirit recognized that language. Of course, I have mad peeps associates, and it's good to see them when I do. Then some with whom I talk shop, fashion, or entertainment. Then some with whom I share intimate topics. And then God gets everything.
Oh, yes.
So I tell people, pray to modify your calling plan, as it were, and pray for mature friendships. You are your squad. Right, Angela?
Oh, yes, that's true. I agree with that 110%.
So, Angela, at which point in life did you notice your desire for mature friendships?
Melanie, I would say that I noticed my desire for mature, friendships / relationships when I completed undergrad and went into corporate America. Because I've always been told that you want to rub shoulders with the people that you want to be like. So as I moved into corporate America and started to want to grow in my profession, I started seeing that there were people that was in corporate America that had been there for many, many years, higher ups. So then what I would do is I would try to get to know them as far as our relationship, not so much saying a friendship, but our relationship. And through our relationship, we built a friendship, but not so much to discuss like personal things like that, but just how I can grow as an individual. So I wanted to get information to build myself as an individual. So I developed a relationship with them and also / friendship. So I consider it a mature relationship / friendship, if that makes sense.
It does. It does, Angela. And, we're going to park right here and talk about the flip side of mature relationships / friendships. And we're going to discuss what are signs of so-called parasitic friends. Now, I know for me, there are specific qualifications one must meet to be called a friend.
Yes.
For example, I'm big on ethics with the tongue. And the Bible speaks in mad places in Proverbs and Psalms on resisting company with those who can't control their tongues. In essence, it reads in Proverbs 20:19, stay away from gossipers, speakers of secrets, causing divisions. In other words, stirring up crap, mischief, deceit, and the like. Many folks might beg to differ. Well, trust me, folks' trust is based on their fruit. So now the first part of the compound word trustworthiness is trust. So if you are untrustworthy, you can't be trusted. Right, Angela?
Yes, I agree. Now
get out of here with that. Come on. It's not rocket science. It's using wisdom. Nonetheless, when people do run their mouths, we know it's a pathology or inner struggle in them, jealousy. What folks think or say doesn't matter about you. All that matters is who God says you are and who you say you are.
Oh, yes.
Just prevent unnecessary drama. That's the point. Just prevent it. So I've discovered immature folks want rewards of friendships or relationships, but they don't want the responsibilities of maintaining them. So what do you think about that, Angela?
Oh, I totally agree, because my goal in all friendships or relationship is to be an asset, not a liability.
That's right.
So I want to be able to give, not always receive. That's one thing to me that is very important, that I'm always an asset, not a liability.
And you are truly an asset to me. And Angela, you made a very good point, because that is the kicker in whether you have a parasitic friendship or not. Yes. Whether it's a give and receive. I don't like to say give and take. You give and receive. Not someone's always pulling on your spirit, because you find people that's always pulling on your spirit or pulling on you, but yet they'll beat you down at the same time to get what they can out of it.
Oh, yeah.
So that's parasitic. It's not a healthy, godly, divine connection. I'm so thankful for the divine connections he's given me. And I'm thankful for your connection, Angela.
Oh, same here, Melanie. 100%.
So also, Angela, let's discuss what are the signs one should be aware when dealing with manipulative or jealous friends?
Well, I think we can go back to what you said before, is that they always want everything they can to get everything they out of you, but they don't ever give. Mm-hmm. So I think that's one thing. And also, I don't want to say Debbie Downers, but that sums it up. Debbie Downers, they never, when you call or talk with them, it's never anything positive.
Right.
It's always, I mean, everybody has problems.
Right, of course.
Nobody else. But it seems as though when you talk to that individual, it just takes something out of you that when you first called them, you were excited. You just wanted to find out how they were doing. But when you talk to them, it seems as though it just drained your spirit.
Right. That's so true. That's so true.
And I was told a long time ago, can you get anything out of a dry lemon? And a person's mentality could be like a dry lemon. They have nothing to give.
That is truth. That is true. I love that analogy.
Yes.
Angela, that is true. I was laughing when you said Debbie Downer because I was just looking at an episode on SNL, how they brought back an old episode of that Debbie Downer. And I thought about those who I consider Debbie Downers. And it's so true. Now, God, because of divine connections, when we're there for each other, God gives us the ability and strength to guard our hearts. So we have to pray and thank God for the grace and the power to guard our heart with all diligence. So when we're able to be there for a friend, we're able to still be there and be guarded, but yet understand that everything's not always perfect all the time, running through a bed of roses, as it were. But we're able to still pray for that friend and consider, because we could easily be in the mission as well. But for those who are constantly it's always black cloud. It's always the worst of the situation. That's a low vibration. If they're consistently and in a cycle of low vibration, that's an issue. That's a pathology and a spirit.
Oh, yes, I agree.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah, the cliche, you can tell a true friend when things are bad and they are there for you. No, I say you can tell a true friend who can celebrate with you when things are good. You watch the look on their face when you tell them something good, or listen to the sound in their voice. If they say something like, oh, okay, and move past it quickly, you have your answer.
Angela, where is the thin line between allowing friends to grow up or cutting ties?
It goes back to what I said earlier, when that person becomes more of a liability than an asset. I think that is the point where I feel is important for me. We can still maintain the association, but the friendship, far as, us doing things together and stuff like that. I can still pray for that person. I can still, check on that person. But overall, far as cutting the ties, I had to let them go. I had to let that person go because my goal daily is to grow, not only for myself, but also to grow my friendships. And if that friendship, it's like feeding that it's like a plant. You continue to give it soil, you give it water, but if it's not growing, then therefore, what does it do? It dies. So that's how I see my friendships. If I'm feeding it water and I'm feeding it, the soil, and it's getting the sunlight, it's getting all the necessary nutrients, but it's not growing, then therefore I feel as though it's time to cut ties.
That is so true. And when you said that made me think of the scripture, Galatians 5, and that's in verse 12. Basically, Paul wrote, I would that they were cut off, which trouble you. I'm going to read that again, 12. Okay. Galatians 5:12. I would they were cut off, which trouble you. Because it does affect your walk and destiny. Yeah. And we also have to make sure, be mindful and have a clean heart and a restored soul, that we're also not troubling other people.
I agree.
Wow. That's good stuff, Angela.
That is powerful, yes.
That is good. And when you were talking about knowing that, thin line between allowing a person to grow up and cutting ties, that is setting up a healthy boundary, and that is love.
Yes, it is. Yes,
that is love, because you're allowing them to, you're having the Lord to deal with them and to grow them up if they need to do it over there somewhere. But also there's peace, because he said he called us to peace and not bondage.
Oh, yes. And some friendships can be a bondage.
A bondage.
Yes.
That is so true. And we have to know how to be mature enough to say, I love you. I can pray for you. Good to see you when I do. But
Yes.
you have to set up that healthy boundary. Love yourself and love them to know what to cut those ties so there can be peace. And that is love and allowing there to be peace between you from a distance.
Oh, yes. Love them from a distance.
Yes. So, Angela, how do you set up healthy boundaries?
Good question, Melanie. The one thing that I do is, again, I change the category that particular person falls under.
Mm-hmm.
Now they become an associate.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning, again, if I don't talk to them for a couple of weeks or months or whatever, I know that the person still exists, and I'm always concerned and praying for them. But it's at a point now that I don't have to talk to them all the time. Again, I'm loving them from a distance. I'm praying for them from a distance.
That's right.
But that friendship of going, doing, talking to them all the time, it doesn't exist anymore.
That's right. That's so true, Angela. And we have to accept that, and we have to walk in that. That's a healthy boundary. Again, that it has nothing to do with unconditional love, unforgiveness. Right. That is love, because you're also creating an atmosphere of peace for you both. That's good.
And happiness.
And happiness.
Happiness, yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Angela, do you have any resources for us today?
Well, I found a very good book that is I'm reading it and I know it will help others, but it's called Messy, Beautiful Friendship.
Ooh, I love
Finding and Nurturing Deep and Lasting Relationships. And it's by Christine Hoover. And basically what Christine offers is women a fresh biblical vision for friendship that allows for the messiness of our lives and the realities of our schedules. Mm-hmm. So I'm dwelling in this book. I'm trying to, because I'm always trying to be a better friend. Mm-hmm. So with this book, it's going to help me to understand how to, even though everybody has everything going on, right, it's going to help me to understand how to be a better friend.
That's good, Angela.
So again, it's called Messy, Beautiful Friendships, Finding and Nurturing Deep and Lasting Relationships. And again, that's by Christine Hoover, Hoover.
Oh, thank you for sharing that. By reading that book yourself, you're saying, I'm not trying to just get out of someone. I'm not trying to see what kind of relationship that can make me happy, what make me better. You're also balancing it out by investing in yourself, reading, feeling and feeding yourself with spiritual food on how to be an asset for others. That is unconditional, unselfish love. And I thank you.
Thank you, Melanie. Thank you for the opportunity to share.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for hanging out with us today. Join us next week for the episode Body Boost, Eating to Destroy High Blood Pressure. Remember, as Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said, if you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, you have to keep moving forward. Peace.